What is up, everybody? I'm Tasteless. We're here with another day of the RSL. Welcome back. Today, I will be casting with Sturgeon. How's it going, man?
It's going very good, man. It's a beautiful day in Seoul, and by that I mean it's hot as an oven outside, but
yeah, it's insane outside.
It's crazy, but super excited to cast some lower bracket StarCraft II here today. Yeah,
we got some great games coming up for you guys. Again, 2 more best of 5s. Before we get started, we want to talk about our sponsor. Archon Studios has been the official broadcast partner of Season 1. Because of them, we were able to double the prize pool. They have the StarCraft tabletop miniatures game. It's going to be on pre-sale later this year. Go to the website, check it out. We really appreciate their support. And also, we wouldn't be able to do the RSL if it wasn't for the community backing us. So if you've been meaning to sign up for our Patreon and haven't done it yet, we hope to give you that extra nudge. We've got different tiers on the Patreon depending on how much support you're able to give. The more you support, the more interactions you get, for the tournament. You can vote for maps or players. So consider signing up. It would mean the world to us. And if you're a Patreon supporter, you get, wait a minute, am I seeing this right? 20% discount on all Tasteless TV merch?
20%?
Oh my God. We've got hoodies, we've got mugs, we've got t-shirts, we even have pins. We've got a bunch of other great stuff. Gaming stuff, esports stuff, RTS related stuff. So yeah, consider supporting us that way and getting some merch. Now, as far as the schedule, can we get the schedule up here real quick? So if you're joining us here today, we are going to be going into one more round here tomorrow. I'll be casting with Sturgeon for that. We're going to have 3 days off after Sunday, and then we're going to have the final 4 days of the RSL.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is kind of getting to the interesting part of the bracket now is the playoffs. Today is the losers bracket. So it's do or die for these players. If you lose now, you're out. It's double elimination. And we are going to jump into the first game here on Kill Switch.
Yeah, so this is going to be Cham versus ByuN. ByuN, by the way, having an amazing performance in his match against Classic. I dipped out for, I guess when the match got good. I had State and Gemini cast it. Turned out to be one of the closest, craziest matches we could have asked for here. And so going into this, excuse me, Cham, he's looked very strong. We weren't sure he was going to make it into this RSL, but he's had, I think, a pretty good performance, even though he is now in the losers bracket facing off against ByuN. His games looked good, so hopefully this is going to be a close match.
Absolutely. I think Cham has been playing at an even higher and higher level these days. His Home Story Cup performance was excellent. He's been doing well in the group stages. He had a bit of a tough time against Clem in the upper bracket, but what can you say? It's Clem, right? He's probably the best TVZer in the world. I still think he looked okay in some of those games. We've been seeing a lot of Lingbane Muta out of him, so I'm expecting some more of that in this series. And maybe a cheese or two, who knows?
Yeah, and when you look at a player like ByuN, he has a very specific style. I do feel like he's one of these players we could cover up the ID, and I could probably guess it's him. Tends to not do that kind of exhaust play that we ended yesterday's broadcast on, where we saw Cure, and honestly one of the best games I've ever seen in StarCraft II, the Reynor versus Cure match that ultimately Cure won. ByuN is a little bit more of a poppy player. He's kind of likes to get in your face. He likes to take. He takes a lot of fights other players wouldn't take, but usually comes out on top. At times he's been one of the best Terran players when it comes to control, and that shows up in his play style too. He tends to try to go for the kill early on.
Absolutely. I mean, he's very well known for his Reaper openings, being super aggressive, controlling them perfectly, getting the most out of every unit. His Marine control is also excellent. This game, we're just looking at a standard Reaper opening here into Factory. But I expect these games will be hyper aggressive. There'll be lots of action, and he's really going to try and put Cham to the test here, I think, on defense.
I think you're 100% right on that. I think Cham's going to have really solid defending here if he's going to be viable here at all. Now, this map you are uncomfortably close. I do feel like this kind of incentivizes like timing attacks and pushes, but then when you have a map like that, it also makes it like somewhat predictable too, and players might try to play around that. But I would not be shocked if we see some kind of pushing here from ByuN. The third base is just uncomfortably close to the middle of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. The rush distance isn't too big. You can quickly get across the map with tanks or Widow Mines, kind of set up that parade push, whatever it might be that you want to do. We do see the starport going down here and the third CC in the main. So ByuN's actually going to play a really macro-focused build here in game number 1, get his economy going, and then try to look for some strong play in the mid-game, I would guess. Cham, on the other hand, is playing pretty standard. He's got his third hatch down, he's getting Ling speed, and he's starting to macro up as well.
Yeah, TVZ in a lot of these games is a bit of a slow start. We see a lot of Terrans, they go for the fast expand and then try to get that 1-1-1 tech here, the barracks, the factory, the starport. In this game, it looks like the Reaper is going to narrowly escape, and it'll be regenning here. But we want to see, when that push is going to come. For instance, in this case, we've got the Banshee started over here. There's a tech lab as well. We'll see if he goes for Banshee Cloak or anything like that. And really for Cham and for Zerg in general in this phase of the game, you're in kind of a droning, teching phase, so there's not too much that's going to happen right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty good start for ByuN, really. He got the Creep Tumor with his Reaper. He got a Ling. That's about as good as you can ask for at this level. He's just on a poke here at the front. Cham does have a lot of Queens coming out. And Lings with speed. Doesn't want to dive too deep on this creep here. He might get these Hellions. Wow, he's playing fearlessly right now. What is this? He's just going for it, but there's enough Lings, I think. A lot of these Hellions here in the red hit points, but they're still alive. Will he dive onto this drone line now? Let's see. The drones are pulled, okay. Attacks with 2 of them to draw the fire away. He's split pretty well, but already 3 going down. He's got to minimize the losses here.
Yeah, he's lost 4 drones total. I don't think this Hellion's going to be in the game much longer. So I don't know how worth it that was. A lot of times when you see Hellions run into the base, one thing you want to think of is, like, did they pay for themselves and more? Like,
right.
How much value did you really extract from that? So I would say that was a decent hold there from Cham. That being said, the Hellions, they don't have a ton of utility in a longer TVZ game. Just like the Reaper, they tend to fall off as far as like, things they can do that are significant in the game. So I guess he tried to throw those in there and get his damage done. ByuN is getting his 2 engineering base. And so he's not going to be pushing for a while. He's getting his 3rd base, and we're just going to continue to be in this build-up phase of the game.
Absolutely, yeah. 1-1 on the way for ByuN. He's got these 2 Banshees. And I like what you said about the Hellions there. One thing is he didn't invest too much into Hellions this game. He sent 4 in with the Reaper. If you go up to like 8 Hellions and you send them all in and lose all of them, that could be like game ending. But he only lost 4. He got 4 drones for it. Not the best trade, but he's going to try and do some more economic damage with these Banshees coming in. And he is macroing hard behind this. Upgrades on the way. Combat shields 1-1. Already another 4 drones going down. This Queen's taking hits. This Banshee control is excellent right now, up to 5 drones. And yeah, Cham is taking some losses here.
Yeah, this is doing a lot of damage. I thought he was going to lose that Queen for a second back there. He's going to confirm this base down here in the bottom right. Now, a lot of games in TVZ, we talk about the 4th base being pushed, and that's kind of the Achilles heel. This map is shaped in such a way that, like, this is kind of a hard-to-reach location. I would not be surprised if we're just going to continue to see pushing come in from the Terran at the Zerg's 3rd base, because right now the Zerg's kind of expanding away from the initial bases that he had. Now, 1-1 is about to finish, and I'm not surprised that we're going to see a push. I think with the way ByuN's playing, usually it's 2-2, where like the real muscle kicks in for Terran, but he's at least going to come out here on the map. Now, this is very ByuN-esque. He doesn't have medevacs here. This is like a high-risk move. If
right.
You're ever on the map and you don't have medevacs, like, you can just get surrounded and killed, and then you're going to be pretty obsolete later on. But it looks like he's going to head back now.
Absolutely. This is a really good move. He forced Cham to make a lot of Ravagers and Roaches. He's up to 75 drones, actually, so his economy is looking good. But will he be able to stop this push is the question. The Stim comes in. There's Roaches and Ravagers here. He does have the medevacs finally join up now. Oh, and this Banshee is going to town in the main base as well against some workers. ByuN with some excellent micro here. Darts forward, picks off that Ravager, focusing down the Roaches 1 by 1. Okay, the Banshee falls, but it did get 10 drones, 11 already. So ByuN's actually ahead in workers while doing this push.
Yeah, and that, I mean, 11 drones already killed. it did feel like the Zerg barely held off the push in the front. I'm a little bit worried that we might be getting close to a tipping point here. If these reinforcements can't get up here in time, yeah, okay, so he's basically bought time. The tanks are comfortably far away enough. The Zerg doesn't feel like they can really dive in there and try to take the fight. And ByuN not actually committing to the entire push, is instead going to fraction off part of his army and drop here in the main.
That's so good when you're playing against Roach Ravager, not as mobile as Lingbane Muta, for example. He's going to go for the Infestation Pit here, and he actually picks it off. He should just pick up and get out here, but that's a very nice pick off. It delays the hive from Cham. He can't make infestors, kind of resets the tech here a little bit. And these tanks on the high ground are so beautifully positioned, but gonna have to pick up and get out of there.
I feel like the tank just like disappeared almost.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
It's kind of weird. So ByuN's gonna regroup. Now Cham is still powering up, but you know, he's going into this phase of the game with a black eye, so to speak. Like he's been eating a lot of punches here from ByuN. ByuN is going to once again send a couple Marines down here to clear out the creep tumors, and he's going to probably pick this back up and merge together. And meanwhile, this third base is going to be hit yet again. I don't see anything here to defend. It looks like Cham maybe overreacted to the small amount of Marines down there. Here come the Lings and the Banes. The Bane count is not high enough to really be a threat. It's going to be the sheer strength of the Roaches if he's going to break this position, and it looks like Cham actually is.
Yeah, he will hold that off, but there's another drop down here, picking off Overlords. Oh, and these upgraded Marines, as soon as this 2-2 finishes, they're going to trade so well, but already doing a good job. Okay, he does pick up and get out of there, but each time ByuN goes in, he's picking off drones somewhere else. He's doing a push at the front, and he's doing damage, but he's also getting 5, 10 drones somewhere else on the map. And he's really starting to get his multitasking flow in here, picking apart Cham, spreading him thin, the defenses, gets this Spore Crawler, another few drones. And you're actually supposed to be really far ahead when you play Roach Ravager, Lingbane, you know, in terms of supply compared to the Terran, but ByuN's keeping it even.
Yeah, I mean, Cham is still hanging on here. This hatchery is really low, so, you know, sometimes you can use the hatchery to soak a little bit of damage before you've regrouped everything here. The 2-2 is now finishing, so we're going into 3-3 for the upgrades here. And this is where the Roaches really kind of fall off. Oh, man, a Baneling connects there in the front. Meanwhile, a drop down here at that fourth.
Yeah, and I like that ByuN switched into mines here as well. Like, he started off with the tank pushes on that high ground. He's seen the Lingbane, he's gone into mines, and he's going to try and get some really cost-efficient trades with those. If we look at Cham's side, he does have the hive finishing up here, so we'll have to see what he wants to go for. This buyer has to be careful moving on to creep into the map. You don't want to get caught out and get all your stuff blown up by Banelings. But yeah, the upgrades, that, like you said, are a huge issue here. 3-3 is already ticking along for ByuN. And Cham is just finishing up his +2, but he does have the Adrenal on the way.
Yeah, ByuN definitely staying true to that kind of aggro style here. This base, by the way, I mean, it's really hard to hold in general. When you have a position like this, it's a nightmare for the Zerg. I don't know. It actually might be worth for Cham to just abandon that and try to expand somewhere else on the map. He's going to come up here with the Ravagers. Oh my god! He's got so many Banes coming in over here. Is he going to commit onto the Planetary? He does. All right. A lot of SCVs killed off there, but when you send that many Banes across the map, I mean, what do you have back here to defend?
Yeah, he perfectly calculated how many Banes he needed to take out that Planetary Fortress, but like you said, he doesn't actually have that much back at home, so it's going to be tough to defend this army. He's added in so many Marauders here as well. They're going to do all the extra damage to the Roaches. And oh my god, this is a big army of Lingbane rolling in out. The Widow Mine shots are huge. ByuN is kiting as best as he can, and that's going to be it. GG, game number 1 goes to ByuN.
That was really impressive stuff there from ByuN. I got to say, Cham is looking pretty strong despite losing a lot of drones. Like, he was really hanging on pretty well there, but yeah, ultimately, you know, the damage accumulated and ByuN was able to win.
Yeah, I mean, if you, like, he must have lost 30 or 40 drones total that game. If you can minimize those losses and then keep the macro as good as it was, the game can look completely different. And it was a very short map, like you said, so the momentum can swing really quickly and the game can get out of control quick.
Yeah, you know, with Cham in that last game, I don't really feel like there was any one bad move, although one thing that did stand out to me was all the Banes going on the Planetary. Like, I get counterattacking, but there's a point in time where, like, ByuN's already made the army he needs to end the game. You know what I mean? The counterattack is, if you deny the third base, it's like, well, he doesn't care. He's got everything he needs to go in and kill him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was really just how many drones ByuN was able to pick off throughout the game. He was pushing the front, and then he would drop somewhere else at the same time, kept hurting the economy of Cham, and then, like you said, he did economic damage to ByuN, but it was already at the end of the game, and he didn't have enough to hang on.
Yeah, we're going to be going into Persephone now for map number 2. ByuN with a 1-0 lead, but I don't necessarily think this is a sign that it's going to be entirely one-sided. I thought that game was a decent back and forth inside the match. So we have Cham here in the bottom and ByuN up in the top. And, I mean, let's see if we have another one of these macro games or if we're going to have any kind of, like, I don't know, Reaper openings here from ByuN. We know he likes to do that, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Persephone is a map that's somewhat close by air, so, you know, things like Banshees become good, drop play becomes good. On Cham's side, he likes Mutas. We saw him go Mutas 2 out of the 3 games against Clem in the upper bracket. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him switch away from Road to Ravager Ling Bane here and go into Mutas, but yeah, we'll have to see.
You know, one of the things about Roach Ravager is, like, Terran gets to play hide the ball so much. Like, you run to the army, they're like, whoop, they just load into the Medivacs and run away. And I feel like it is a frustrating experience as the Zerg. I mean,
absolutely. You have no anti-air.
Yeah,
you have Queens.
Unless somehow a Corrosive Bile hits a Medivac, which is just not going to happen in pro play. Yeah, you don't have any way to, like, chase the Terran down and punish them. And so, like, I always feel like when I see those interactions, really good Terrans, they'll just chisel off a little bit of your army or a little bit of your creep tumors or kill some drones, and then they get out, and then they reposition and they take another fight. Where, you know, Ling Muta Bane, it's one where if the Terran missteps on the map, they get annihilated.
Absolutely, yeah. If you have drops going into the main and the Mutas catch them, for example, you can lose whole Medivac's worth of units. On the flip side, though, the Mutas aren't necessarily as good in a straight-up fight. Like, if you're attacking into a entrenched position with Widow Mines and a few of them go off on your Muta clump, that can be the end for you. So there's kind of trade-offs. This game, again, we just see pretty standard openings. We have the Reaper opening for ByuN. Cham's got his hatchery down on the low ground, going to be droning up here. And I'm very curious to see what ByuN brings out on this map.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways that ByuN can play this. I do feel like, you know, versus Cham, and this is one other note, is like when you're in a big tournament like this, Cham, from ByuN's perspective, Cham's probably not the big threat for ByuN. Like, ByuN probably expects to win this. And then when you have long format tournaments like RSL or GSL, sometimes you'll see the players take their best stuff and kind of pack it for later on in the tournament.
Absolutely, and I mean, not just this tournament, right? We have the big one coming up in a few weeks, so you might be saving builds for that. I don't know. You might want to show everything. Maybe you don't want to bring out your best builds against someone you're favored against. Maybe you want to save it for deeper in the bracket. We don't know. But we'll see what happens. This Reaper just going to get out. ByuN always pushing his units to the limit. And yeah, the creep spread is going to start to begin here. Third hatch is going down.
And there's the third command center here in the main. So this has been very common here for Terran. A lot of greeting. I mean, you're basically getting as many of the pieces of the puzzle necessary to have a healthy late game right away. I keep bringing this up and it's not happening, but I'm going to bring it up again. I wonder if like a Nidus network would be a great way to punish this, or some kind of cheese like that.
Yeah, it's definitely an option. Yeah, I mean, those builds can still work. The Queens did get nerfed a bit. They can't transfuse off creep if you want to bring those. But if you do Nidus, get a creep tumor down, it can definitely still work. And with the close by air positions, if you could sneak a Nidus in the main or something, that would be crazy. But it's a huge risk, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I guess the question is, do you want to try to play the macro game, or do you want to try to punish their macro opening?
Right.
So this game, I mean, a lot of the same themes from the last game. We've got the Banshee coming out, although I don't see Cloak being researched just yet. Nice snipe there with the Hellions just zapping that creep tumor there.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of shocked by ByuN's build order choices. We talked about how kind of crazy aggressive he is. And he's just playing standard.
Yeah.
He's just playing Hellions into Banshee Harass and then following up with Biotank or maybe Biomine. But he's really not doing anything too crazy here.
Yeah, we've got Stim coming. Usually Terran won't try to do anything on the map until Stim is done. That's kind of the big game transforming upgrade there for Terran when you can actually get out on the map. And we have that third command center that hasn't been landed yet, but we can assume that's going to be put down there for a while now. Now, for Zerg, they're still going to be droning up and trying to pave the map with as much creep as possible. The fourth base for Zerg on this map, you have basically two options. You have what State always calls the triangle third, so that's the base that's just above your main. And another popular location is the very, from the Zerg's perspective, from the bottom right side of the map. And that's a very removed base, but unique to this map, we should remind everybody about is these speed boosters. I think we're going to get a shot of it in a second here. Yeah, it's like the Back to the Future thing where they disappear and go to the past. So we have had a couple games where Terran just gets in that lane, and it's almost like a jump scare push for the Zerg. The Zerg's not ready for that, so we'll see if that's a factor here now, because the Zerg is going into that bottom right location.
Absolutely, that is a path they can push down. It's looking like Cham this game is not going to be playing Roaches. He's got the Bane Nest going down. He's got his layer finishing up nice and early, and we're going to see the Spire. So, like we were saying, this is close, kind of close air by air. So, Mutalisks can hop from that Terran third base back to the main, back to the third, and they can be super annoying. And they can deny the airspace between the mains to shut down any pushes. These Banshees actually going for this fourth. Oh, they get distracted. They go back on the fourth base. Are they going to get it? Oh, okay, he does cancel in time, but that slows down his expansion quite a bit.
Can he do this again? Actually, hold on. I think he could.
Oh my God, this is so annoying now.
Do you know how much money this is costing?
And a drone.
Oh my God, the Hellions came down. Okay, this actually.
They zoom down the right side, and okay, the Lings. Is that enough Lings? I'm not sure. This Terran Force is looking pretty scary right now. These Lings are getting absolutely barbecued, and Cham fighting to keep this fourth base alive right now.
Okay, I don't know exactly how much was lost there. Oh, this is hilarious looking. I mean, both the Banshees are somehow alive, so they could be repaired. Oh, we're catching the tail end of this, so some Banes go off and kill the 4 SCVs. But I feel like Cham really took a beating back there. Forcing the hatchery, I believe it was canceled twice, right?
Yeah.
That's actually a lot of resources lost.
Yeah, definitely. And it also a lot of potential mining time if you were going to put drones down there. But Cham has been saving up. He's been saving up his minerals and gas to make a bunch of Mutalisks. We see the +1 flyers coming out and 12 Mutas at once. So he's going to have a big flock of Mutas here, and he's going to try and put them to work. On the other side, ByuN is starting to move out from his third base. He does have this 2-tank push coming. He actually kept the Banshees alive, which is really nice. He can use those to deny run-bys, protect his expansions, or even harass bases while he pushes the front.
So we have the push coming out now. Now, Zerg is just now getting 2 Evo chambers, so upgrades are going to be far, far away. It's paramount that this the Zerg keeps growing, and the 5th base always is a little bit tough if they're going to take this position. So he's going to use the tanks to tank, against some of that damage. But the Banelings are basically still getting up here. And, we were talking about this at the start of this game, but, the difference in the way Ling Muta Bane can engage an army compared to, like, Roach Ravager is really something. So he drives him back, and it's going to be a pretty hard reset for the Terran if he's going to try to push in and get that 5th base.
Yeah, absolutely. And ByuN now knows his Mutas, obviously, so he's going to start putting up turrets. He might put some Widow Mines around.
Is this worth it to just, like, sacrifice the 2 Banshees just for damage on the hatchery? Because maybe you can have another jump scare push later on? I feel like the answer is no, but that's what he did.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for drones to be transferred there so he could pick some off, but that wasn't the case. They've actually been sent to this base. Yeah, I don't think that worked out the best for ByuN. He does have a nice tank position here, and he's starting to push in. Even got some of these Hellbats at the front to try and tank some hits. And the Mutaflock is starting to grow pretty big here, actually. That's a lot of Mutas. Got to be super careful here. Pushing off creep into the tanks. But this is a lot of Cham right now. He's going to be able to take out both tanks, and ByuN is on the retreat. Oh my God, the like, Marines get caught.
It's like there's just no comfortable way to maneuver out of this. I think there might be enough. Oh, maybe not. I was about to say, I think there might be enough that he can actually overrun this position. Quietly, ByuN has taken a base in the top right. That would be a great place to counterattack. I don't know that the Zerg even knows that's there, but you could probably, just by how far along we are in the game, kind of assume that the Terran's in that spot. ByuN, by the way, his pushes have basically backfired.
Yeah, he hasn't got any serious damage done yet. The biggest thing was canceling the 4th a few times. Okay, he does find this base here with the Mutas. Going to pick off some SCVs and turrets. He might be able to start getting some damage here. And he's actually gone up to 88 drones right now, Cham. So his economy is booming. He's on 5 bases, 88 drones. He's finally got his upgrades going. He's looking to have a pretty strong mid game here.
Yeah. The Zerg is kind of locked in right now on the layer tech. The Terran is going to be pretty scary later on. Okay, we got actually a bunch of links, by the way, on the top right here.
Dude, those run-bys are so fast
It's insane.
through the speed zones.
Yeah, I'm still honestly not used to seeing it every time it happens. I think he could just go ahead and hit this base up at around 12 o'clock. Now, Terran's going to push down here, but I think that Clem has done a pretty good job. I'm sorry, not Clem. Cham has done a pretty good job with the balancing act. Uh-oh. Here, another base could be poked out right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, Cham, so he's gonna, I think that wasn't canceled. I believe that was just killed off. Can he actually hit this base? Were we wrong about the Banshees?
Oh, the counterattack coming in though. A load of Banes again. Calculated well, gets the base there. And he's going to try and defend at home. There's not that much there though. And this hatchery is actually getting pretty low. He has to be very careful. There's having fights break out all over the... In the natural, the Lings get through as well. Ling Bane running into this natural base. SCV starting to fall. That's 10 going down. But oh no, the Mutants have somehow rallied into the Marines or something. He loses the base as well. This is chaos.
It's the first time we're seeing that Broodling's actually getting to fight something in the game. I mean, it's a down and dirty game right now. This, do we know what the HP on the hatchery at the bottom right is, or did he in fact kill that?
In the bottom right?
Yeah.
That the one in the bottom right is still there.
It's still there, right? Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure in the midst of this if he
got
actually
the one
killed
in
that
the
off.
middle right. So, but Cham's still on 5 bases. ByuN now down to 3. But he does have the supply lead, and all of it's an army basically. He's behind on the workers, so he's going to have a massive army advantage here. He's going to try and put it to use. Kills this base again. And there's just not that much Zerg here right now. There's a handful of Mewers, some Lings, some Banes, but not too much.
I think that Cham is making a mistake by using a lot of these Banes on buildings in the counterattacks. I think he's like not ever quite... Oh my god, he's going to get away with this. He never quite has enough. You can see the Marauder spread now is going to be... Oh my god.
The upgrade going down. And I think you're right. Like, it's amazing to do that to hurt the Terran economy, but not when you've got a big Terran force pushing at the same time. He does try to Magic Box over the Thor and takes it out, but there's still so many Marines and Marauders left being healed by all these medevacs. Finally, the reinforcements come in, but it's not enough. And ByuN takes the second map.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to read into it too much, but it does feel like we have these huge counterattacks that come out, and then, like, if you're going to use all your Banes to get the planetary, it's kind of the same thing that happened in the last game where he's got the army that can kill you at this point in time.
Right.
And at some point in time, you know, ZVT, a lot of it is just about having the balancing act mapped out where you're counterattacking and you're slowing them down and they're not developing as easily, but you also can engulf their army in Banelings and actually obliterate that and keep growing.
Right, you want to take out a base or harass their economy before you die, right? You need the time for your economic advantage to actually kick in and give you the bigger army. But ByuN's just been so aggressive that there isn't that time for the economy to take over for Cham, so...
Yeah, it's... I mean, Cham's able to hang, so to speak, but he is having a little bit of a tough time here. I'm hoping that we can see some kind of a comeback, or it could be a 3-0. Guys, consider signing up for the Patreon. Patreon.com/ReviveSC2. Also, join the RSL YouTube. We're getting these full VODs uploaded up there. What is the YouTuber thing? Like and subscribe, guys. Let me know what you think about the RSL in the comments. We need to get more traction on YouTube. I know that a lot of you guys are watching live on Twitch, and there's probably 2 people watching on Kick right now too. But the reality is, it's important that we get the YouTube to grow because a lot of StarCraft content discovery happens there. So don't just sign up for the Patreon, but also join our YouTube. The YouTube is at ReviveSC2, right? Okay, at ReviveSC2. Check that out. Yeah, so we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue on with this best of 5. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for waiting. We were kind of talking about it on the break a little bit, but ByuN kind of bigger, better, faster, stronger. At least that's what it's looking like so far in the series.
Yeah, pretty much. He hasn't done anything crazy. He's just gone on 3 CCs, macroed like a god, and pushed, basically. Like, he's making it look easy.
And honestly, I don't know that he needs to do anything else. Like, there's something about when you're like just a tier higher than another player, that the game does kind of become pretty simple. Like, when you have two people and they're very even, one player might try to do something really dramatic to get an edge early on or a fake out. But I think just looking at the way these games have developed so far, it's like ByuN just sort of develops and gets the upgrades, and he engages better and he wins, with the push.
Yeah, I think he's completely happy to play a bog standard macro game and just sit back, or no push, but just say, let's play standard and I'm probably going to win these games. He's, like you said, he's got the upgrades going. He gets his engagements so well, like all the positioning of his units, the splits, the micro, the drops. He's just playing very fast.
Yeah, he just looks very clean. Cham, sometimes when you see games like this, it's kind of hard to see if there is an overarching mistake. I mean, I was talking a little bit about the banelings. Maybe he's spending too many banelings on counterattacking a fourth base. But I could be wrong on that. It's possible that, ByuN is just sort of mechanically moving at a faster pace everywhere. And so, the game, the longer that we're in the game, the more time there is for ByuN to kind of get further ahead. And that's where he gets to a fairly kind of straightforward, a fairly elementary tipping point in the game.
Yeah, the longer the game goes, any mechanical differences will produce, an even larger distance between the two players and their armies and economy. And I think that's what we're seeing here. ByuN has got pretty decent damage both games. The first game, it was drones. The second game, he didn't get many drones with his harassment, but he cancelled that fourth base twice, which cost a bunch of money. And it also delayed mining from that fourth base for so long. And when you take these losses early, they snowball as the game goes on.
Yeah, that damage kind of accumulates over time, and then eventually you don't really have a whole lot that you can work with. So we're going to be going into game number 3 here, and we're going to find out if Cham can basically make the adjustments in his play to start to beat ByuN, or ByuN is going to have a very, very clean 3-0 finish.
Yeah, absolutely. The map here is going to be antimatter, and we'll see what both players are going to do. This is a pretty big map. You can definitely play a good macro game on this map. No kind of weird things like close air bases or anything. This is a pretty, it's a pretty standard map. So we'll have to see what both players want to do here. Do you think ByuN is going to play standard again, or will he mix it up?
I mean, he can probably do whatever he wants and win, but if I had to guess, I think he's going to keep it simple. I think he's just going to go. And by the way, this is pretty trendy in general right now in TVZ, is to basically go for 3 command centers while you're rapidly teching back at home. Even though ByuN is probably one of the players more, okay, this is going to be command center first. But, this is in line with the same idea, right? This is a greedy opening.
Yeah.
I guess he's so ahead in the series, I mean. He goes, okay, let's do something that maybe isn't safe, but, Cham, if he doesn't punish it, Terran just has a free base immediately.
Yeah, that base is tucked away there, isn't it? So it's going to be difficult to attack that at all. He's going to have the wall at the front. So, yeah, why not go CC first and get your economy going as fast as you can? He follows it up with double gas, so he's going to be able to tech up here. And he might just go for a similar build, but instead of racks first, just get that CC and get the economy going here. On the other side with Cham, we have just standard hatch pool. He does have gas as well, so he'll be going for ling speed probably. And yeah, looking pretty normal so far.
Yeah, so this Command Center first play, this was really popular, I think 2 or maybe even 3 years ago. And for a while, it was like everybody was doing it. And I remember just thinking, okay, well, this type of playstyle can't sustain forever. And it did eventually become less popular because it's just such a risky move. It kind of encourages the Zerg to play in a very specific kind of blind countering way. But this is interesting to see ByuN bring it out in this game here now. Now, the reality is Zerg isn't going to try to do anything crazy and attack here. But when I see the quick command center games, what I've seen now be the trend is it's another third command center pretty quickly after that. There was a period where it was 2 command centers into like some kind of 2-base timing push, but it seems like now it's going to be almost always a quick, and there it is. There's the quick third command center again. So, I mean, basically ByuN is going to get to the same place he got to in Game 1 and Game 2, only he's going to get there a little bit quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, why not do it, right? There's no way to attack that pocket base. There's those minerals that you can mine out if you want to do some crazy cheese, like with a proxy hatch, bringing the drones, or, a ling flood. But you do have to get rid of those minerals first. So it's safer than if you were to just go CC first on a normal map without it being the pocket base, right? Because you are able to still get a full wall at the front here, like we see. However, Cham is going for a fast layer and a roach warren. So we might have some cheeky build coming out here from Cham. Yeah,
Cham getting that roach warren. Okay, the Hellions are just going to immediately leave at the site of the 2 queens up there. Now, how many roaches is he going to get? Because there are games where you can get like a couple roaches, but if he's going to hyper commit on this as the layer finishes, that's going to be pretty interesting. Terran has been as greedy as you can basically be. Okay, it's a night.
It's a night as well, tasteless.
Finally, it's been 6 days of me saying this should happen. Okay.
And you were talking about
it looks like the pro gamers are finally listening to the cast.
They caught up.
They finally caught up. Okay, so we have 2 overlords hidden on the map. One's at the bottom left, and I think that its position was just given away. So he sees that there. So, by the way, when you see an overlord kind of hovering out here, you might be going, oh, you're going to try to Nidus rush me. I don't know if that's going to be enough of a telegraph, but there's also an overlord at the top right, and I think there's Marines here to hit that too. So this is going to be a tough hold here. If this doesn't work, yeah, there it is. It's coming in now. 2 Marines is not enough, but can you snowball this with damage with SCVs?
He pulls the SCVs. He's going to try and focus it down. The Nidus, will it go up? It's so close. It's going to go up. Will he pull units out? No, he doesn't. It's too low on HP when it does finish. So he knows any units that come out would die, or maybe just didn't have time to do it. He tries again on the other side. But this was already spotted by ByuN earlier. Like you said, he saw that Overlord kind of poke in and test the walls. So this Nidus is also denied.
So he's going to make another one up here. I feel like this
what else can you do?
Yeah, this is the tragedy of this, is it keeps getting spotted. And Zerg doesn't have any viability right now. I wouldn't have minded seeing 2 Niduses, by the way, in a moment like this. Just like throw them both down and see which one sticks, right? But this is basically a game of whack-a-mole.
Like the arcade game.
Yeah, the arcade game where like the golfers are coming out and you just hit him down.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, he's going to get all the tickets in the machine. He won.
Didn't miss.
Whack-a-mole,
he didn't
world
miss.
champion. Well, guys, that's what I call StarCraft II. If you want to get your friends into StarCraft II, show them that game. That's one that's going to go down in the annals of history. Okay, so I don't have a ton of analysis to give you there. He tried to do an all-in. It got spotted. And basically, you're just back at home with, 30 roaches and no way to get them inside of the base and snowball it into a win. So he taps out.
Yeah, I mean, he was on 34 drones. You cannot transition to a normal game from that. You're super committed. He even tried one outside the base. Like, you want to get it in the base, right? Then you can really do some damage. The third one, he tried to do outside the base, and he still couldn't get that down. ByuN's his senses were tingling. He ran out there and just killed it instantly. So, yeah, ByuN didn't really have any trouble defending that at all. Like, what do you say? Like,
yeah, I can't say that I really blame Cham for doing it. I mean, when you do a Nidus network like that, like, if it works, you look like a genius, and if it doesn't work, you look kind of like a fool. If we can pull the oh, wait a minute, 20% is Tasteless crazy? Patreon supporters get 20% off at tastelessthreads.com. Guys, get the credit card out. Look at the last 3 numbers. That's a security code. You can't buy anything in the merch shop if you don't have the last 3 numbers on the back of the credit card. We've got mugs, we've got hoodies, we've got t-shirts, we've got pins. Don't worry, we have pins too. We also have a whole bunch of other great stuff on the merch shop, so consider going there, purchasing something. Again, Patreon supporters are getting 20% off. And are we able to pull up the bracket here real quick too? I think our game started up a little bit quicker here. So here's where we're at right now. We basically, when we do this tournament, guys, like the games are happening 3 minutes ahead of us, and so we ended up with not enough time to get this bracket up when the show started. So you can see tomorrow we're going to be having Classic and Clem duke it out, and Shin and Kira. That's going to be an insane day of games. We just wrapped up ByuN versus Cham. It was a brutal 3-0. We're going to be going up next after this break to herO and Reynor, and I think that's going to be an insane match. I have no idea who's going to take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these players are so wild, aggressive, unpredictable. You never know what's going to come out of either of them. They've actually traded some sets this year. Reynor took it 3 over herO at the DreamHack 2025 Dallas. And then herO beat Reynor in the GSL in the Season 1 qualifier. So they've traded some sets. It's going to be super interesting.
Yeah, I've actually had dinner with Reynor a couple days ago. He's been grinding really hard, really doing everything in his power to get ready for EWC. Super eager to try to win this RSL as well. Anyways, guys, we're going to go to that match in just a few minutes. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for waiting. We wrapped up ByuN versus Cham. It was a very one-sided 3-0. Props to ByuN. He's looking very strong. He's going to go a little bit further here. But that was, how do I say this? We're kind of going on to the main course now.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about right now. herO versus Reynor. This could be a banger.
This is going to be good. This is going to be our main course meal. That match before, that was like the breadsticks they give you in the water.
Yeah, I was going to say it's an appetizer, but it was like one breadstick.
You're eating your breadsticks, and you're looking at your menu, and you go, oh, I think we'll go with herO versus Reynor. That looks good. So we're going to be going into this shortly here. Look, I mean, look at Reynor's room.
Look at this vibe.
Yeah, look at this cool couch. Now, I got to say, ByuN is the loser here as far as the best room. He was basically in a room with no art. herO got the trophies going on here, and I think he has wanted posters in the background.
Oh, that is One Piece.
Oh, it's One Piece. Okay, got it.
I think it's a One Piece poster in the back there. Must be a hobby of his. But yeah, that is an impressive trophy collection. He did, of course, win the GSL this year. Yeah,
we had Protoss winners for GSL, which, you know, if you've been watching GSL for a long time, it's been a lot of Terrans and Zergs for some time now.
Right.
So I think this is going to be maybe one of the best matches of the entire tournament. herO's in incredible form. I think he's just always been an exciting player to watch. I love how he approaches the game. But Reynor, you know, this is a very, very motivated, very driven player. Super excited to be playing in RSL. Really wanted to win a GSL this year and wasn't able to do that either. So that desire is still there.
Yeah, and you talked about the form of the players, and this time, just before, you know, the Esports World Cup, is when the players are at their best.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is going to be probably like some of the best StarCraft we can see, as they are training really hard at this time of the year. In the off season, maybe not so much, but right now they are going to be practicing very hard. And if we look at the upper bracket, herO actually lost to Shin there in what is quite an upset.
Well, that was weird. That was almost surreal when it was happening. Like, I try to come into every broadcasted match and treat it like it's a clean slate, but, you know, I've casted some of these guys for so long that I'm kind of, you know, the previous games have kind of colored my experience, right? So, in my head, I thought, okay, well, herO's going to for sure win this and be moving on. But Shin played really well. It was one of the big plot twists of this RSL so far.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is the way he did it. He played super aggressive. He played Proxy Hatch, and he played Road Traveler Ling all in, and he played Hydra all in, the 3 games he won. So if I'm Reynor and I watch that series, I'm going to be taking notes and probably throwing in a few aggressive builds throughout this best of 5.
Reynor had a pretty incredible series versus Cure. We just, you know, finished that last night, but, you know, honestly, one of the most epic end games I've ever seen. But, you know, PvZ is a very different matchup. Now, a lot of PvZ has been kind of a slow cook from the Protoss. You know what I mean? It's sort of like I'm playing defense and I'm teching, and, you know, I'm trying to get to this kind of this unstoppable army, right? And the Zerg is kind of kept at bay, but herO doesn't necessarily play like that. He's still a big fan of this kind of Oracle Stalker style, where he kind of gets in the player's face, and while he's being so aggressive that he can expand and basically not be interrupted, because the Zerg has to be defending so hard.
Yeah, absolutely. herO's definitely one of the Protoss that's popularized that Oracle Stalker style, and the interesting thing is how many Oracles that Protoss players get these days.
Yeah.
They don't just get like 2 or 3. Sometimes they're going up to 5 or 6 or even more, because not only are they harassing the drone lines with them, they're using them in their Blink Stalker pushes. They're making layers and layers of stasis traps, so that if when the Zerg engages, they lose access to a bunch of their army, and then the Blink Stalkers are able to get super efficient trades or jump on units when the rest of the army stasis. That kind of thing. So it synergizes really well with herO's style, I think, because he likes to play aggressive like this, and the Oracle Stalker style, I mean, lets you do that.
So we've got that first Stalker coming out. You know, it was interesting when we had all these new maps here. By the way, if you're on a certain Patreon tier, you can vote on the maps. So we've had, you know, some maps that are a lot more crazy as far as the ideas go. But whenever we have a whole bunch of new maps for a tournament, it's always Overlord hunting season. Players always figure out, okay, like, you haven't quite figured out where to hide the Overlords yet, so we have a lot of early game punishes like that. In this case, it's not going to happen because Reynor gets his away in time.
Yeah, that one Overlord just hanging out, just standing there. The Stalker might go and find that. We'll have to see. The first Oracle comes out and is followed up by a Void Ray.
So
Interesting.
this usually signals a slower game. The Void Ray basically can sweep the Protoss' side of the map and kill all the Overlords. And then usually what happens is Protoss, well, it's happening right now, is taking a third base, and then behind that, it can be a bit of a guessing game, right? Because the Zerg relies on a couple Overlord scouts and pokes to kind of see what's going on in the interior of the base and what kind, like, is this going to be Sky Toss, or is this going to be a bunch of gateways coming down and some kind of a push? Well, the Void Ray basically keeps the Protoss in a very opaque position. So I don't know if it's going to be. The answer is we just don't know what kind of game this is going to be yet. But Reynor doesn't know either.
Yeah, absolutely. And herO got that third base at 3:30, which is nice and early. The Void Ray going to keep him super safe as he takes that. And he's now going into Forge Twilight, so we're probably going to see, I guess we'll see Blink as a follow-up. Yeah, there it is. And he's got +1 on the way as well. This Void Ray just sharking around, trying to find any Overlords. Obviously picking them off is good, but also denying the vision of the Zerg, keeping all his Overlords at home, not out on the map is super good, because then maybe you don't know where the push is coming from. Reynor on the other side, he is getting his Roach Warren in his layer. He's got +1 missiles on the way. So it looks like we're going to have a good old Stalk versus Roach Ravager Ling battle here in the mid-game.
Yeah, the Stalkers are going to be out on the map and be aggressive. We were kind of talking about this earlier. We've seen games where he has more Oracles with this, but it looks like this game's not going to exactly be that. One of the things you'll notice about this, by the way, this Void Ray has gotten so many Overlords.
Yeah, 4 Overlords going down this game. That's 4. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Can he get this base?
Oh, he absolutely can if
Where
he just focuses it.
The Queens must be coming now, but they're a little bit out of position here. This Void Ray is actually going to cancel the base. Will he get the drone? Oh, he gets it as well, slowing down that base for Reynor.
I don't think I've seen a Void Ray get this much value in a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely paid for itself.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of crazy. But that's a lot of hiccuping in whatever Reynor's trying to do, right? Like, this is actually almost like a catastrophic game here so far from Reynor. I mean, so many things have gone wrong. I thought we weren't going to talk about the Void Ray for the rest of the game after he killed the first Overlord, but he's really getting work in here. So, for the time being, it's going to be more gateways coming down here. The Stalkers are going to come out, and the damage that was done earlier may be compounded by the Stalkers coming into play.
Yeah, absolutely. And Reynor's going into Hydras here. He's getting his Infestation Pit. I guess eventually he'll want to go to Lurkers if the game goes that way, but here it doesn't look like he wants to let it. He's being super aggressive with these Stalkers, pushing in, kill some Lings. Will start to blink out as these Stalkers get low. And he'll just get value over time with these Stalkers. Actually going to focus down the base. Forces another cancel.
Wait, was that canceled or was that killed?
Was that killed?
I might have been killed. Well, either way, I mean, it's bad, right?
It went down, yeah.
Yeah. The Stasis Ward stuns some of the Lings. Right now, the Hydras, they might be high enough in number that Protoss can't commit any further here. Remember, like, Ling Hydra is not that bad at actually chasing down Stalkers,
Absolutely is really good. Until Storm comes out, and we do see that on the way for herO now, so he's not going all in with this. He is transitioning to Storm. He's getting charged. He's going for the 4th base. He's got his upgrades ticking along. herO wants to take this to a later game.
Yeah, so far, so good. Reynor looking pretty robust despite the beating he was getting early on. I think the Hydra Ling is going to have to stay back. It's hard to counterattack with Hydra Ling because Hydras are so slow off of creep. He's going to try to chase this down. Now, Blink feels good, but, the amount of time it takes in between the Blinks can be a little bit painful, so he manages to escape. I didn't quite appreciate on this map how abusive Blink can be just because of those mineral locations over there.
Yeah, definitely you can use those cliffs, jump up and down as you please. The Oracles give you that high ground vision if you need. He did lose a couple Oracles, but not the biggest of deals. He's macroing very well at home, getting cannon, shield batteries, another Stargate, so might be starting to go towards that super late game here. And, Oh yeah, it looks like he's going to be going for some air units. On the other hand, Reynor has his first lurkers coming out. He's got the upgrade coming.
Yeah, he's going to do a push here. Now, I don't know how ready the Protoss is for this. We've got some Templars out. We know Psystorm is done. The Stargate tech's not going to kick in for a while. Well, I was going to say Reynor's going to push, but it's actually now herO moving out on the middle of the map. I feel like this may be an ill-timed move on the map here.
Yeah, this feels like Reynor's time to be aggressive because herO has his fleet beacon. He's going from Mothership, right? And but if the lurkers don't get set up, okay, they're actually going to try and push in here to the 4th base.
Yeah, 4 cannons is not going to cut it here, but this could force a recall back.
It could indeed. Ooh, okay, he gets that base, pushing the creep, but in come the lurkers. They're all going to burrow. And will herO recall or will he try and trade bases? That's pretty hard to attack into, honestly. Oh, the storms go down. A lot of Zerg dying here. herO's retreating. He doesn't want to lose too many units. Just zoning these Hydras out with the storms. But back home, this base is in ruins. Okay, he does finally recall. But can he take out these lurkers in time?
Yeah, the lurkers are now going to come up here and try to chase this down. The Nexus, how low is it? I think he might end up
getting low.
Yeah, it's so low. There's a chance the lurker spikes are retargeting, and so that Nexus somehow miraculously stays alive. But there's another push coming up here. I can't imagine Reynor won't send a couple of Lings to finish that Nexus off.
Yeah, herO just got there in time, but that is a target for sure in the future. Reynor pushing around on this side as well at the 3rd base. He's trying to stretch the defenses of herO. Got units running around, multitasking everywhere. herO's just going to go for it, attacking into these lurkers here. The charge locks go in. The storms are huge, zoning out these Hydras. But in the back, the Lings are taking out all those probes. herO's got to try and hang on here.
Yeah, this is looking pretty painful here. The Lings are going to finish off that Nexus. The push is being driven back, but I'm worried that basically herO is staying too small in this process.
There's no Overseer here, right?
No, there's no Overseer, you're right.
Reynor cannot see this army right now, so he has to do a full retreat, and he's going to lose a bunch of units in the process. herO did lose that base in the end, so he's got to get something done here, I feel like. Reynor's still just making a bunch of Hydras, Lings, and lurkers. The push is coming in. Oh, you got to be so careful here. You do not want to eat some big storms.
Yeah, this is a lot of Templars.
That's like a whole church worth of Templars.
Yeah, that's wild. Actually, too many Templars? I don't know. I guess if you have just Hydras you're dealing with, maybe there's no such thing as too many. herO is recovering, so to speak. Keep in mind that, like, Reynor wasn't, like, one of these heavy growth Zergs for most of this game. He was kind of powering up on a small amount of bases instead of trying to have a vast expanse of the map. So he's going to be expanding a little bit later. It's not that it's good or bad, it's just like the way the game was going. The Tempests here are annoying. They don't deal damage that... Oh my god, great storm. They don't deal damage that quickly, but over time they will chew away at everything you've got as Zerg. You don't really have a lot of recourse versus them.
Yeah, the issue here for Reynor is he doesn't have Vipers or Spire on the way, so if this Tempest count gets too big, they're going to get infinite value over time, right? They're just going to keep picking off units. But Reynor's not going to give that time to happen. He's pushing in. He's trying to make it happen right now. The Templar are coming over. They're going to try and land some storms here. Okay, not bad. And I think he's actually going to clean up that army. And on the other side, the Tempest save that 4th base that's going up. So herO's just hanging on here, barely.
Yeah, Protoss is, they're staying alive. They're not... Well, maybe I spoke too soon. There's a little bit more coming up here. I feel like Protoss has been barely hanging on. Some of these attacks, by the way, from Reynor are like so small. Right. Maybe a little bit too ambitious there. But big picture for a second. Reynor...
200 Lings!
That's insane, man.
There's so many Lings that have gone down this game.
I actually did not appreciate how many Lings have been wiped out here. Reynor's continuing to grow. He's actually taking these rocks down over here. He's going to try to open the map up. Protoss is kind of doing okay on like the 4 bases, but it's going to be tough to take any more here. The tech is continuing to be set up, and we do have a War Prism coming as well. Now, the War Prism can signal a push. It can also be used to harass as well, but let's see what he decides to do with that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can send that to the main base. You can send around the sides of the map, and Zeta run-by has become pretty difficult to deal with kind of in the late game. If you're pushing, you can get backdoored by them. This big army pushing across the map right here, Reynor still doesn't really have an answer to the air units. He doesn't have Vipers or Corruptors. So it's going to be interesting to see how he wants to deal with these Tempests. They're going to start raining down on these lurkers from far away. He does have vision of them. Actually gets pushed back here. Wait, does he have vision of those lurkers? Yeah, he does. Okay, so he's starting to pick those off. And Reynor's just going for these hydras, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is the moment where herO is going to try to lash out on the map. And he's got that kind of death ball. It's very hard for the Zerg to engage this. The Archons underneath this kind of protect everything. There's storms that you can blanket here. And then the Tempests are kind of like mobile siege tanks. But Reynor's going to try to come in here and sandwich this. He's going to hit it from both sides.
Oh my god, beautiful engagement from Reynor. The storms are going down on the left and the right. Is it going to be enough? Oh, these storms are actually disgusting. all these hydras going down, but there's still some lurkers left. He doesn't have enough to deal with the air units.
Oh,
though,
I
right?
didn't even see the warp prism was in there. We were talking about it a second. I was like wondering where it went. So he warps in some more units underneath this. I don't know that he has enough. I mean, Reynor didn't kill the army, but is this too small now? Maybe he has to back up.
Yeah, he seemed to do well on the ground, but he wasn't able to clean up the expensive air units of herO, and he's retained most of them. If he can keep those alive and get another push going, he could be in good shape. He's still being aggressive here on this gold base, and Reynor has no way to catch these units, really. They're not on creep, he can't run under them, and he doesn't have Vipers or Corruptors. This sneaky lurker actually gets in there on red hit points, and we'll start taking out some probes. This game is starting to get a bit messy here. That hatchery on like 5% hit points as well.
So now this very small army is getting punished. Remember that the Protoss' army is very slow. Templars, Tempest, Mothership. It's not exactly, you know, something that can dart around the map. And so basically the Zerg's doing a good job punishing her. Actually had a decent amount of probes killed. I almost missed that. 11 workers killed. Reynor's supply drops quite a bit. He's getting a Spire here now and 18 more Lings. Oh, somehow that hatchery at the gold base is still alive.
Yeah, if herO could finish that off, that would be really good for him, especially as he takes his 5th base now. I think Reynor's got the economy he needs. He just needs to make this air transition, and we do see that coming in with the Spire. So his answer to the air units is going to be Corruptors, probably. I think if he gets to that Corruptor composition, he's going to be in good shape. But yeah, already a lot of Templar and Tempest out. This little run-by gets caught by the Zerglings. Reynor's playing really well in this game 1.
Yeah, Reynor is it's hard to see how he's going to lose this right now, right? herO's continuing to grow on the map. We are running out of map for Reynor, by the way. There's not that many more bases that he can take here. I guess the truth is herO's in a bit of a similar position. And so herO's going to push down here in the bottom. And, you know, I got to say, this is one of these positions where I don't, you know, the more technical the army gets, yeah, I think counterattacks are going to be the way to go, right? So we're seeing a big hit up here, and, you know, same idea as before. The army isn't fast moving. He's going to be forced to recall, so we spent that. Oh my god, the storms are absolutely insane.
What am I looking at? So many storms, but those High Templars recalled at the front of the Nexus and all died to the lurkers that were there. So there's no more storms, and there's just so much for Reynor here. These lurkers and hydras going to town on this base. Probes are falling. And herO's in a world of trouble right now.
Yeah, and you know, it seems like this Nexus is going to go down. There's no actual observer here, so all herO can do is watch this Nexus fall. It goes down. That's going to knock herO onto 4 bases, and behind this, Reynor has actually expanded 2 more times here. He's filled in that base that was taken out in the bottom right. He's also growing into the top left. You know, this base, we've seen this killed off once already. It's going to be a very tough base for Reynor to take. Can't blame him for trying to secure that, but it looks like once again it's going to go down.
Yeah, Reynor's economy is looking great here. 77 drones to the 47 probes. He did take that extra base, like you say. It's just gone up now, I think, so he's going to start mining from this. And herO's got some decisions to make. Like, do you want to try and take that 4th base again? Do you want to expand in a different direction? Or do you want to just try and make some army and send it? Because right now, Reynor's economy is looking pretty big, and he finally has the Vipers and Corruptors on the way, so he's going to be able to deal with these air units directly.
So, once again, herO's kind of roaming the map here, looking for some location to wipe out. herO has not reclaimed 12 o'clock. Oh, and this is interesting. He's expanding into the bottom. So these bases at the bottom right and the base at the top left that nobody has, it's ambiguous. Like, who gets that, right? And so herO's basically giving up on the top left. Oh my god, another Nidus network coming in here. but it looks like Reynor should be able to wipe this out. So this position is going to be taken away very quickly.
Yeah, Reynor in a beautiful spot here. He's going to be able to harass these bases with lurkers coming out of the Nidus networks here. And it's going to be very difficult for herO to spot them all, have units in place. He does have recall, which he can always use.
I think he literally doesn't see the Nidus in the main.
He doesn't see
He's just like headed southbound here. Keep in mind that, you know, the recall ability for Protoss, that's kind of like its own weird little resource.
Right.
You know, so, you know, if he doesn't get that recall, or, you know, he doesn't use the recalls correctly, the Zerg is going to take out a huge portion of the map.
Yeah, and Reynor's starting to pick away these air units there. Gets 2 Tempests for free. He's got Niduses going up everywhere. Like, this is getting pretty crazy now. If lurkers get out on top of your production in the main, it can be really difficult to deal with, like going up a ramp into them, for example. So you've got to try and stay on top of them. Did anything come out of that Nidus in the bottom right? Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah,
the lurkers do come out now.
Dude, he's so good. So he baits the recall. He says, goodbye.
So sick.
I am not going to even engage with this. And I think we're going to have another Nidus maybe thrown down here in the main. This Overseer is gliding right in here. And again, I mean, if herO misses this, I think Reynor's happy to give up bases to completely wipe out all the infrastructure in the main. Are you kidding me? He's not going to kill this? Oh my god.
He's got to kill that.
Are you serious? He didn't kill the hatchery? That's insane. Now the lurkers come out. Now remember that the recall was used.
Right.
Okay? So now he's going to be just chewing up all this core infrastructure. Now that doesn't mean that the Protoss's death ball, you know, doesn't have to be respected. He's going to have to eventually deal with that. But this could be the start of a victory here for Reynor.
Yeah, herO does get a base there, and it was Reynor's newest base, so that's a good bit of damage. But look at these lurkers in the main. They're going to start taking out tech. herO's going to try and send it. He's saying, okay, I probably can't get back and defend that. I don't have recall. I can't run all the way home. I'll just take too many losses. I'm going to try and kill some bases first, and then I'll deal with that. And he's moving across the middle of the map here. These lurkers came back to the bottom right, and they're starting to deal with the stack defense there.
Are all the gateways in the main? I'm trying to figure out what infrastructure is going to be lost here. The push is coming down now. Reynor's going to have to try to fight this back. Nice surrounds. The storms are just absurd.
So many. Look at the screen. I can't even see the units. So many storms here. The mothership goes down. This corruptible jumps on these air units finally. This is what they've been waiting to do for the last few minutes. And Reynor's looking in a very dominant position here now. He's taken out those core expensive tech units of herO's, and I just don't think he's going to be able to remake them.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is probably over. herO lost basically the tech he was accumulating the entire game. He's lost a lot of the infrastructure. Zerg was compacted quite a bit. I love these changelings like getting in the way of the actual zealots. Yeah, he was squished quite a bit and lost some bases, but at the end of the day, I think that Reynor should be able to just kind of attack these 2 bases sticking out on the map and probably close it out.
Yeah, I was looking at the army supplies, and I thought Reynor had a huge lead, but a lot of it's in Corruptors. There's 11 Corruptors there.
Yeah.
So his army on the ground isn't actually huge right now. He does need to remake some Lings, Hydras, and maybe Lurkers. But if he can do that, then he's going to be in a very good position. There's even creep in the Protoss main right now. Like, what is going on? These Lings finally come down and take out this base. Huge damage here. Get some probes. We've got probes evacuating to the 4th, I guess, of the Protoss now. And here's... I'm not sure what he's trying to do from here. There's more lurkers coming out. Reynor is retaking his bases, so he will have some income eventually. He's still on 60 drones. It's not like perfect, you know, it's not 80 drones or whatever, but it's enough considering how bad herO's economy is. He just needs to get up and running.
Yeah, right now herO kind of has, you know, a funny tier 1 army that he's kind of running around the map with. I don't know that he's going to be able to get that much done. It's 14 stalkers and 6 zealots and a sentry.
Right.
And I just feel like if you have enough Lings, you can kind of gobble this up and move on. And he has Lings and Hydras and Lurkers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he didn't want to remake the air units because there were already so many Corruptors left after that last fight where he lost all his air units. So he tried to focus on ground, but Reynor can just go back into Lings, Hydras and Lurkers. He's doing the best to get as much out of Blink as he can, try and get some efficiency. But yeah, Reynor's starting to get some units off here. He does have to retreat. that Nidus will go down. But I mean, I'm just looking at the mini-map. Like, what is going on with hero's infrastructure here? Like, the main is empty.
It's like he never remade it. He's basically, like, you know, using caveman technology at this point in time. And, you know, Reynor never suffered that much. This actually could be GG here. I mean, the Stalkers, this is all he really has going for him. And that number is getting thinned out. I think the Zerg can probably follow him all the way back into the center right. GG. Reynor takes game number 1. Honestly, a really impressive performance by him.
Yeah, that was super impressive by both players, I think, and a very entertaining game, lots of back and forth. Pretty hard to see who was winning for a while there. herO did go for those air units, and I really liked the way Reynor dealt with it.
Yeah.
He didn't, like, instantly go, okay, I need 5 Vipers and 20 Corruptors. He stayed on the Hydra Lurker, and he attacked multiple places, and then where the air army went, he backed off, and he got economic damage elsewhere, and then eventually he went into that air transition, got all those Corruptors, and was able to take it all out.
Yeah, and then, you know, once the Tempests are wiped out and the Mothership's gone, and truly the Nidus network in the main, I mean, Protoss is basically trying to build into that tech the entire game.
Right.
And then when you lose that, it's so hard to remake. But I thought Reynor played a very clean game. I'm curious if we're going to see herO try that style again. I kind of misread the early game back there. I thought when I saw the Stalkers coming out, because I've seen him do this so many times, right. I thought, okay, he's going to just be doing that mass Stalker, fast fourth base, you know, using oracles so that to gun down the Lings, so the Lings try to surround him. But instead, it was like this air tech.
Yeah, he went pretty quickly into Storm. He got the super fast third base, and then he made a very quick air transition. He could have stayed on Storm for a bit longer, maybe.
Yeah.
Get his fourth base up quicker, and then maybe go for air later on if it becomes that super late game. But it's cool to see him, you know, varying up his style, not just going for that Oracle Stalker push, you know, every game. So I'm excited to see what he tries next game.
Yeah, we're going to hop into game 2 in a second here. Right now, Reynor looking extremely strong. We should mention this is the losers match here. This is kind of crazy that one of these guys is about to get knocked out. You know, a former world champion versus one of the players that just won a GSL. But yeah, the show must go on here. Going into game 2 now, it is herO in the top, Reynor in the bottom. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what the playstyle is going to be here. Reynor is definitely one of these Zergs that's kind of shown that if you go into a deep, complex late game, he's super on top of everything he needs to do. He basically, from A to Z, will play a perfect game.
Absolutely. He crosses all his T's, dots all his I's, and he was playing so fast in that game 1. He was everywhere, like sprawling around the map with small groups of units. One time I looked, there's like 2 lurkers attacking somewhere, like 8 units attacking somewhere else. Playing very quick. This game's on the Korean server, so the ping's super good. Like, players can micro really well here. This natural is going to be blocked, so Reynor will have to take his his second base at his third base location. A little bit awkward, but the Zergs are pretty much used to it at this point.
So, yeah, herO likes this style, sending the first probe out, and you're basically dictating how the Protoss plays here. Sorry, how the Zerg plays by denying that first hatchery. You can also ferret out any kind of weird cheese that might be coming as well. Although Reynor's lately, it seems like he's been pretty conservative in his play, at least in RSL and the GSL games I've casted of him. He's definitely very comfortable in his like macro.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's up there with the best of them. He's such a quick player, right? I remember when he used to play against herO, and we always thought herO was like extremely fast, and he is, but Reynor is up there when it comes to, you know, second to none when it comes to speed. He can harass all over the map in multiple places, and yeah, he's not afraid to just play standard. Like, he doesn't have to play super aggressive or cheesy or anything. He's willing to go toe-to-toe macro with anyone. But I do expect him to do something interesting at some point in this series. So
yeah, you know, it's funny. I mean, I've been casting StarCraft forever, right? But I was telling everybody, you know, all the Korean players I know, like, eventually there's going to be foreigners that can compete with you. And they would be like, no, Tasteless, that's never going to happen. And it didn't happen for a long time. I remember casting BlizzCon when Serral was, like, winning. And I'm like, oh, my God, it's actually finally going to happen. And then not only was it like, okay, well, Serral is very good, it was like, Oh, now Reynor's up there too. Like, it's not like it's going to be one phenom, you know, from somewhere outside of Korea who's going to be able to hang. It's like, oh no, they're basically able to catch up and compete, and it's been exciting. You know, the StarCraft has gone from, you know, an obscure part of the world like Korea, where nobody could touch them, to now we have players, you know, from all over that look extremely strong, especially in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. Reynor and SC2 are obviously teammates on Basilisk, so I'm sure they share tons of notes. But this Adept actually gets into the main. The drones try to surround him, but he gets out. He does pick one off as well. This is super annoying by herO in the early game. But he gets a second drone. Nope, he saves it. Beautiful save there. Okay, but he does lose one. This is the advantage of forcing the Zerg to take their expansion at the third base, because they don't have the creep connecting the bases. They don't have the queen at the front of the natural to shoo away that Adept. So it can do all kinds of annoying things like this. Catch the intercepting drones, shade into the main, shade back to the third. But that Adept is now going to go home. And behind it, we do see a gateway going down, the Twilight. And we do have that Oracle flying in the Zerg main base, I believe. Yeah, there it is. So let's see what damage this can get done. Oh, absolutely beautiful defense by Reynor.
Yeah, he didn't even get to fire a shot.
No, he didn't get
turn
a
the
look
beam
in.
on there. Yeah, he had to make a U-turn right out of there. Protoss is taking the third base over here on the outside, and it's going to be Adept Glaives.
Ooh.
I can't say I'm too shocked by this.
Now, this is one of those builds that you've got to throw in once in a set, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just so good, and it's so easy to get caught by surprise by it.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of these builds that can come out, and if the Zerg isn't prepared for it and hasn't future-proofed for it, the game will basically grind to a halt, and the Zerg has to get out. That being said, you know, whenever you focus on, like, for instance, Adepts like this, they have a time and a place in the game, but they're not, like, units you want permanently in the game, right? So if it falls off, it's usually a comfy ride for the Zerg from there on out.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to get damage done with them, and basically you're looking for the Zerg to be greedy, right?
Right.
Zerg players love to drone up super hard, get that economy going, and then make their army. But if you get these glaive Adepts out and you get in the mineral lines and you're shading around everywhere, you can really pull the Zerg apart. And right now we see the Roach Warren is going down for Reynor. It's not the earliest Roach Warren, and he's still making drones right now. I think Reynor could potentially be in some trouble. There are 10 Lings coming out. Oh.
Okay, now you see those Adepts and you know what kind of game you're in. So the Adepts are now shading through here. It does feel like Reynor doesn't have quite a lot. Oh, I love the wall here.
Beautiful wall.
He basically just bought a little bit more time to the shade. So he's got, oh my God, he's got a great surround with these Lings. Oh my God, is anything going to survive through here? It's going to be an execution here in the back of the base. Has he killed a drone yet?
I haven't seen one go down. Okay, so finally some Adepts get into that third base there. He's got Adepts in 2 places. He's trying to pull Reynor around, but he actually lost 5 probes behind this.
Yeah. No, this has been so shut down. I love that Wallen. That Wallen was smart because all the Adepts need to do is get into an uncomfortable position and the damage starts to snowball, and the fact that he sandbags that is beautiful. So, you know, the aftermath of this is 10 worker kills. I think Reynor's going to be very happy with that. herO is now going to have to transition into a more normal-looking game, but I don't think he's going to be satisfied with the damage that he got done there.
Yeah, because he also lost 5 probes at home, right? So the 10 drone kills doesn't seem like game-ending damage in the end. Right now, though, herO did actually keep probing through a lot of that attack, so he's actually ahead in workers right now. Already up to 62 to the 57 of Reynor, but a bunch coming out now. And he's transitioning into that +1 attack. He's getting his blink. He's getting shield batteries because he's afraid of the counterattack, right? You throw away all your Adepts to get economic damage. Sometimes the Zerg just says, all right, well, I've still got all these roaches. I'll just push you back, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's kind of an easy layup into a counterattack, right? You've almost teched into the solution, or the counterattack, not just the hold. So 24 Lings are about to hatch right now. Zerg's taking a 4th base down in the bottom right. I'm wondering if we're going to see those speed boosters used. I guess not. I guess he's actually more interested in just trying to clean up the creep. By the way, the creep hasn't been great this game.
Yeah, it's not super far out there. We're already 7.5 minutes, and it's okay in the middle, You kind of want it out on the sides as well, especially near the 3rd and the 4th. I think hero's doing a pretty good job. It's kind of hard to spread creep when the pros is being so aggressive with the adepts. So hero doing a good job there. Reynor now going to go for the infestation pit. He's getting +1 melee and armor, which is interesting. He's also getting roach speed, so we're probably going to see some roach ravager Ling Bane here, I'm guessing. Or wait, does he have a Bane in this?
If he got one, I missed it.
Yeah, I also missed it.
I feel like, you know, you would just have one.
Yeah, that's like the standard comp, right? But he's going for Hive here.
I mean, I certainly have not seen a Baneling yet.
Yeah, very interesting.
You know, it's one of those things in my head. I'm like, we'll just always have one of those, right? Like, Banelings are the best unit in the game, literally. But, yeah, I mean, right now, this is looking pretty bad.
Yeah, just staying on that Roach Ravager Ling, and all these Stalkers get caught. There's so many Stalkers going down. Huge loss for herO there. Reynor looking in control of this game right now. He's pushing in. He's just dying in, super aggressive. Only 7 Stalkers going down, 15 Adepts, and pretty even resources traded overall. But here come the Storms.
Yeah. You know, Reynor is ramping up to nearly being maxed out right now as his Hive is about to finish. And I mean, you can see Reynor has now grown into this right side of the map. I guess getting some value. Hey, not bad with those Adepts over there. Going to shut down that gold base. The problem is that Protoss has a lot more to tech into before I think they can move around the map, and it just feels like Reynor is sitting so comfortably here on this map. He can do whatever he wants.
Oh, he's actually going into Ultralisks. Wow, this is super cool. So he's going for the melee upgrades, skipping the Banes, going Roach Ravager Ling into Ultras. Oh my god, look at the dodges on the Storms here. Reynor's Zerglings are sneaky, zigzagging through those Storms here, and I think, yeah, Reynor's going to look to get these Ultras out, and obviously they don't care about Storms at all, right? But in the meantime, hero's going to try and get some damage done on this side. Oh my god, the Storms are huge. So many Lings going down, but this Pro's army is completely caught. The High Templar are all caught. They're completely defenseless, all go down, and the Stalkers are pushed into a corner here.
Yeah, and the Stalkers really can't get that much done. There's another counterattack down here with these Zealots and Stalkers, but I mean, this is just going to get mopped up here, too. I will say the angle for the Zealots is pretty nice, right? They're kind of a box between the Evo chambers here, but yeah, I mean, this is going to get wiped out. And the reality is that, like, hero's not getting value with this. Zerg doesn't care if they trade army right now, you know?
Right, especially when they're good trades. Like, he actually fought with his whole army against half of hero's army, and then he got to fight the other half afterwards. So it wasn't like 2 attacks happening at exactly the same time, right? So Reynor had some really good trades there. He's now maxed out, starting to build up a bank. Just 5 Stalkers down here in the bottom right by themselves, just hero things.
Yeah, another Nidus network coming up here. So I think the plan is, and I'm learning a lot actually watching Reynor right now. I think the way that he approaches this is you just keep getting bigger and bigger on the map, and once it's like 5th base time for Protoss, it's just, Protoss isn't that mobile. Like, they don't have like a creep highway. They can do 1 recall. And sometimes you can get the Protoss to recall out of position. Like, he might try to come up here and hit the 4th or the 3rd, and then have a Nidus in the main and just destroy the infrastructure there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And we do see the Ultralisks out now, but herO is responding by making Immortals. If you can get the target firing down, that could be good, but there's a lot of Zerg here moving in to this 3rd base, and Reynor's attacking like 2 or 3 places at once here. The Ultra's just walking through these Storms. The Ling's not so much. That Immortal goes down, and there's so much Ling Ultra Roach here is taking everything out. Does he have detection? Does he have he have an Overseer right here? Oh my gosh.
I think he literally doesn't. Now, the damage is still insane.
Yeah, big damage.
The Zerg, I mean, right now Protoss is floating at about 100 supply. The Zerg is about to ramp up and max out again.
Yeah, I mean, these Tempests are just tickling this Ultralisk. He's really not too bothered. It does finally go down. These Immortals are going to be super key here. He has 2 producing at a time from 2 Robos. But 15 Pros going down. This Ultralisk is on a hunting spree right now, just munching all these Pros. That was crazy. They weren't able to get out. Reynor's getting what looks to be game-ending damage here as even the Nidus going down in the main.
Yeah, I think this game's basically over. I mean, herO might he might be in the game for longer, but I don't know about recovering. This is also another moment where Protoss has to run back in here and try to deal with this, and then another counterattack up here. I mean, luckily for herO's sake, he didn't lose the core infrastructure, but I also just don't see how he's ever going to be able to recover from this.
40 probes going down. Reynor's everywhere. Nidus in the main, hitting the third, hitting the fourth. Like, how do you be in 4 places at once? Reynor's just multitasking like a beast right now.
You know what's funny is he doesn't see the base at the top right. That's just like gone unnoticed here. It shows a Reynor thing. He's like massively ahead, but he thinks he's even more ahead than he actually is. But yeah, I mean, I think Reynor, kind of a master class in late game ZVP. But, you know, herO went for that adept play, and it didn't work. And that's always, I mean, we've all been there, right? Someone tries to do some weird timing attack, or they try to cheese you, and you go, okay, it's going to be hard to hold this, but when I do, this is going to be fun and easy. And that's exactly what this game was.
Yeah, for sure. He did a great job holding that, making the wall and everything. And I really like his build as well. Going straight to ultras, right? Like going for these super fast upgraded ultras. Even going for the neural parasite right now. Ooh. I'd love to see that on some high-tech units. Let's see if he gets to use that. That would be cool. Does he still doesn't know about the top right.
I mean, this is a pretty big oversight, to be honest.
If he knew, he would kill it.
He would 1,000%. Yeah, there's no reason to keep it alive, right? But you can see herO's not really, I don't think there's that many probes even mining there. Because right now herO knows like all that, I mean, one Zergling goes over there and that's going to be gone.
Yeah, I've never seen a queen in the speed zone, by the way, and like it hardly changed. I was like waiting for it to zoom, but it really didn't.
You know, this base, this location we're looking at right now with the double robos, I mean, that's a pretty important location for Protoss to keep, because, you know, losing those 2 robos is, you're going to lose the solution to fighting the Ultralisks. Dude, the Lings are like right.
Does he see it?
Oh my God, he's like
so
right
close, like 1 pixel.
Oh,
and he runs away. Okay, herO's army forces him to scout it. He's like, hey, could you scout this already? Like, I've had this base for so long. So Reynor finally sees it. Now that's on his radar. He's gonna try and probably take that out at some point. herO didn't remake the 4th, so I guess it makes sense he wouldn't have that corner base maybe. They're pushing in now with a ton of Ling Ultra. So many units from the Zerg. More probes going down. herO's economy is in tatters right now. And he's even Nidus in the main. Great Aspire finishing behind this. He's got all the tag, everything he needs in this game. Even catching this Protoss squad of units out on the right.
Oh my God.
And finally pushing up to take out this base that's been here way too long.
GG. That goes, that win goes to Reynor. That's a weird way for me to say it. Reynor wins 2-0.
The win goes to Reynor.
That win goes to Reynor. Okay, I thought this was going to be a lot closer.
Yeah.
And maybe we have a turnaround here from herO, but Reynor looks just perfect.
He's playing so good right now. He's playing so fast, so good. The tech choices are on point. The transitions, the economy, the harassment. He's just
the only mistake he made was he didn't check for that base that was in the top right corner. And had he checked for that, I think we would have been out of the game earlier. I think herO's kind of going, okay, for some reason he's not looking there, so I guess there's still hope for me, right?
Yeah, that was the saving grace in that game. But once he does find it, takes it out, and the game ends pretty quickly.
Guys, I want you to imagine not supporting the Patreon for the RSL. What kind of a loser
What are you doing?
What are you doing? You hate StarCraft II? Why do you hate StarCraft II? What's wrong with you? Why would you hate a game? Oh, you're insane. Do the right thing, guys. Sign up for the Patreon. It's patreon.com/revive SC2. Come support us. We wanted to carry the torch forward here for StarCraft II, and we wanted to do it in a way, because there's a ton of tournaments online. We wanted to have it feel kind of professional and feel streamlined. We are hoping, as we get higher in our goals here, to unlock the offline event. So we're going to rent out, there's I think like 6 or 7 big esports studios or stadiums. We would like rent that out, we'd staff it. People can show up and watch live. We're getting closer and closer to that goal, so please consider signing up. We would love to earn your support. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to continue on in this best of 5 between herO and Reynor. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for waiting. We're going to be going into Game 3 now of this best of 5. We thought it was going to be close. So far, it's not been close. Reynor is looking untouchable.
Yeah, he's playing so good right now. I don't know, like, as herO, what do you think going into this Game 3? He went for the Glaive Adept build that game. He tried something different, but it didn't pan out. So do you go back to your tried and tested Oracle Stalker pushes? Or do you try something different?
I don't know. I mean, if I had to, I don't know, like warg into herO's body and play for what I would do, I would probably try to go for something that just ends the game before we get to late game. Because Reynor looks like absolutely perfect in end game. He's counterattacking in the exact right spots. He's forcing recalls that the Protoss have to like address in that moment, but then he's inconvenienced by the position of the next attack. And he's also, Reynor's using Nidus networks in the main to where eventually the Protoss is just, there's too much of the map that the Protoss has and the army's too cumbersome to move around. And then, yeah, I mean, it's just, things fall apart basically.
Yeah, I love these late game Nidus lurker networks. Drop in lurkers out in the main, get on the production, in all the bases behind mineral lines and stuff. It's such a pain to deal with this Protoss because you need detection there, and then you need units that kill lurkers. And it's hard to get that in multiple spots at once, whilst Reynor's also running 100 Zerglings around the map, harassing your probe lines. It just gives you so much to deal with at the same time.
I guess I should point out, too, that was all off of a failed Adept rush.
That's true, yeah.
Reynor shut it down, so I guess he was actually trying to do what I was talking about. But, yeah, I mean, point in cases, I just think that if we get into endgame PvZ, I don't think that Reynor can be stopped.
Yeah, not today, it doesn't look like, but we will see. herO is still obviously an amazing player. He's the guy right now. He's that Protoss right now, right? He's definitely up there, one of the top Protosses. So we'll see what he comes back with here after a little break. time to collect himself, think about his build choice. And
if he dies here, he's out.
Yeah, he's out of the tournament.
We need to put some emphasis on that here, that like Reynor could be knocking herO out. And honestly, if Reynor can knock herO out, I don't know who he cannot, who he can't knock out.
Yeah.
So bottom left is herO, top right is Reynor. As we go into game 3, Reynor has been residing in Seoul. Obviously, he'll be going to Riyadh soon here for the Esports World Cup. But, you know, I see him from time to time. Some of these pro gamers I'm closer with than others. But, yeah, he's extremely motivated to come out here. It's interesting, too. I've always been fascinated with which pro gamers gel with Korea. You know, Korea's got such important history with StarCraft, you know. And, I mean, a lot of, I mean, fans on the street that were just StarCraft fans, you know, but they wanted to come out here and kind of see it in person. But yeah, he's one of the guys that definitely likes being in Korea, likes sticking here. Beyond just the fact that it's got a strong server with good players on it, the fact he likes the culture, he likes the food.
Absolutely. He also likes those Korean League of Legends servers, I heard.
He does. Well, the funny thing with Reynor is, like, he's a very, from what I understand, I don't know a lot about League of Legends, but he's a very gifted League of Legends player. He actually said if he could, he would play both StarCraft II and League of Legends.
That would be insane.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, it's kind of impossible. I guess the only game you can be, like, pro at a couple games on is maybe like fighting games, because a lot of times those tournaments are at the same
there's some crossover,
Evo.
Right, in the mechanics and stuff, and they're the same venue, the same tournaments and stuff, for sure.
Yeah, because we definitely have fighting game players that are good at a couple different games, and I guess we've had players that have both been pro at StarCraft 1 and 2, but yeah, I mean, he's just so good at StarCraft 2.
Hey, if anyone can do it, it's Reynor, man. This kid is talented.
Yeah.
He is hardworking, putting in the practice. I did see him playing Terran on his stream earlier, which made me laugh. There's a game coming up today, but I mean, just getting the hands warm, I guess. This game, he was forced to make his base at the third base location due to the probe. But we saw this in the previous game, so this is not a big deal. Just playing standard here. 2 queens on the way, Zergling speed, and hero's going to be opening with the Stargate this time. Yeah,
Stargate tech coming out. Obviously, the Stargate tech alone doesn't really tell us what we need to know, right?
Sure, yeah.
There will for sure be a third base and probably, you know, some turtling with the, you know, an adept or two as things try to develop. I don't think Reynor's going to do any like crazy aggro. I don't think he needs to. I feel like it's a bit similar to what we saw like with the ByuN series, where ByuN's like versus Cham, he was just like bigger, better, faster, stronger. Yeah. And I think right now Reynor's probably, his confidence levels have to be through the roof right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're winning playing standard macro games, well, maybe not standard, he did play like an Ultralisk build, which is a bit weird, but if you're winning playing long macro games, you don't feel compelled to cheese or anything like that. You're perfectly happy to take it there if that's what's working for you on the day. We do see this first Oracle coming out here. I did kind of like the Void Ray. It did pick off a ton of Overlords, which I thought was nice, and even got like a cancel on the base or something. But the Oracles are kind of heroes, you know, his staple play, right? This is what we expect to see from him. Oracle Harass, Stasis Traps, Blink Micro, this is what he's known for. So this would be exciting to see if he does go for that. Reynor, however, does have his Spore Crawlers going down. They look to be just about perfectly timed. They will finish up before this Oracle gets here. He does confirm the third base going down in the natural. And he's actually not going to try and get any probes right now, any drones right now, sorry.
Yeah. So, look, we got ourselves another macro game here. You know, that Nexus is going to be coming along. And, yeah, we're going to see, okay, here it is. The Twilight Council's coming. Probably going to be Blink. I mean, would we see Adept again? You know, you were talking about this earlier, Sturgeon, that it's like, you see the Adept play. It's like, you got to use that in the best of 5.
Yeah, I think throwing in there once is good. See if you can catch your opponent by surprise. But when they shut it down like that, I don't think you're going to see it again.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we had it.
Yeah, we see the Twilight and the Forge coming now. I would expect this would be for Blink and +1, and we'll see what herO wants to do from there.
Yeah. Now, herO basically floundered when he had relied on the Stargate tech. That kind of slow death ball, like Archons and Tempests and the Mothership and Templars there. And I think Reynor, he played a very tactical game in that game when he basically, whenever you get, like, Broodlords, I think, are the most obvious example of this. But, like, Broodlords are hard to fight, but you can just, like, run to the other side of the map and attack stuff, and they can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to engage them.
Yeah. You basically punish the fact that they're slow. So I don't think we're going to have that Stargate tech again. I've been kind of, maybe I'm like, I'm too much of a fan of this style of play, and I'm trying to, like, will it into the games I'm casting. But I really like his aggressive Blink Stalker play with a fast fourth base, where he walls off sometimes the fourth base with like 3 or 4 extra gateways, and he just kind of tries to chisel away at the Zerg.
Yeah, me too, absolutely. Good pullback with the drones there. Only one getting caught by the Stasis Ward. Doesn't finish that Shade. Probably the right choice. The Lings were coming by. And yeah, he's just poking, prodding, see if he can get any damage with these Oracles and Adepts. They're not Glaive Adepts or anything. So he doesn't want to commit too hard here. Wants to keep his units alive. If there's free damage, he'll take it, of course. But Reynor's defense looking super tight. Up to 66 drones now. Does have his 4th base on the way. Going into Lings with +1 missile and the Hydra Den. So this looks like a pretty standard game so far.
Yeah, we got a lot more Lings being cranked out, and the Hydra Den is coming down here. So we're going to have Hydra Ling coming up here shortly. We could eventually get this teched into Lurker Tech here, just seeing that the missile upgrade is coming along.
Yeah, but right now, this actually works really well against Blink Stalkers. Just Hydra Ling will actually shut that down if you have the numbers. Reynor's been macroing pretty well, so he has a decent amount of Hydra and Lings coming out now. And herO has to decide, does he want to commit to this and just go for it? It looks like that's what he wants to do. He's not transitioning to Storm or anything. So if that's the case, he will need to get some damage done, because Lings and Hydras will outscale these Stalkers eventually without any splash damage. Beautiful. Oh my god, what a huge Stasis Ward there, Tasteless, catching so many Lings.
Yeah, big stun up there. Look, we haven't seen a drone made in a while. It's going to be a lot of Lings and Hydras coming up here. And, I like that you point out, it's so good against Stalkers. Like, you blink away, and then you're shredded, and you lose everything.
Right.
So he's going to come out here. There's a lot of damage. These Adepts are not going to be able to escape. I like the usage of the bridge, but I don't think it matters. Like, there's just so much damage here. It's like, yeah, I guess that's good surface area to take advantage of this. And I'm sorry, is there something in the Protoss's main? I see something on the minimap. I think there's a counterattack. You guys are just going to have to believe me. This is a cast for the blind, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, 6 probes go down to the counter, and but like, Reynor's read this so well. The unit comp is perfect, right?
Does he just win the game here?
I think he's just doing it. Like, he's got Ling Hydra against Blink Stalkers.
Did he just take herO to Bobtown?
He just
bopped him.
I think he just took him to Bobtown.
He just bopped him.
Gave him the full tour of Bobtown here. As
this was a food, it would be a beep and bop. So, I guess that's it, guys. I guess that he's just, I like the strategy of making units and then killing the other guy with it.
Oh,
This was just such a straightforward game, completely countered the tech.
Yeah, this is the meta. Oh, you just make Ling Hydra against this and kill it. Like, he's handled this push expertly here. He read the push perfectly. And yeah, he's pushing back now. 26 probes going down. herO's on his last legs. Don't forget, if he loses this game, he's out of the tournament. So he's going to fight till the last unit here, but it's just too much Zerg right now.
That's it, GG. Okay.
Wow.
Well, that's game 3. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He just...
Reynor played awesome, man. The defense was so good. He defended the Oracles, the Adepts, and then the big Blink Stalker timing, and he like made it look effortless. He just played so tight with that defense. Really good play.
It was, yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I had decided that this was going to be a long and dramatic game. I mean, he was making a lot of Lings and Hydras, but somehow I just sort of felt like, well, herO's really good. He just went GSL. Surely there's something that maybe I'm not seeing that's going to hold this.
Right.
But
it can't be that easy, right?
Yeah. Well, props to Reynor. This was a short day today. Just barely went a little bit over a 2-hour broadcast here. We had 2 3-0s.
Wow. I really didn't expect that. Maybe in the first set, but definitely not in the second set.
Yeah.
I thought herO would be able to take some maps here, but Reynor looking dominant.
Reynor looking to be very strong. So herO's out. Both Cham and herO died in the RSL today.
They died.
When you die in the RSL, you die in real life. So, guys, we want to say thank you so much to Archon Studio, the official broadcast partner of Season 1 of the RSL, and hopefully for many more seasons to come. They are making the StarCraft tabletop miniatures game. Go to their website. They've got a bunch of great stuff. They've got stuff for other games and other franchises I had no idea. So we're really excited for their tabletop miniatures game that's going to be coming out. Pre-sales will be happening later this year. So lots of love to them. Consider joining our Patreon, guys. This is the future of StarCraft II. The community will decide how the future is determined here for this game. We want to take our tournament and turn this into something that feels slick, that feels streamlined, that's professionally observed, that's professionally produced. So whatever you can give, whatever you can sign up for monthly is going to be incredibly helpful. Even if it's just $5 a month, it means the world to us. So please consider doing that. We are going to be starting Season 2 of the RSL after the Esports World Cup. And wait a minute, 20% off.
20%?
That's such a good deal. I mean, you would be a fool to not buy that merch.
I mean, 10 is generous, but 20
10 is 20.
Tasteless
I mean,
is double.
Who's running tastelessreds.com? That person's gone mad.
That guy's an idiot.
That guy is an absolute. He's getting robbed. He's getting robbed blind because of this 20% off Patreon deal. Yeah, guys, consider getting merch. That's another way to support this. Here's our schedule. So we're going to be back on tomorrow. I want you guys here in the stream. I want you wearing your Sunday's best. Okay?
Yeah, put your RSL hoodies on.
That's right.
Get your RSL mug with your hot beverage of choice.
We'll probably have RSL underpants or pajama pants you can wear next season. We don't have that item yet.
Dude, I would buy some RSL pajamas right now.
Yeah, you should. Some comfy jammies that you can wear when you're watching the games. Here's what the bracket looks like so far. So ByuN and Reynor survived today, but they've got a long road ahead here in this loser's bracket. Tomorrow, so July 6th, we're going to be casting Classic versus Clem and Shin versus Cure. And I heard that maybe there's this pro gamer who might join us tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
His name starts with a Ray and ends with a Nor. We might have Reynor casting with us. Or at least I was texting him before the show today. I think should be able to come by the studio and give us a little guest cast. Just tell us, I would have attacked over here at this part of time, and then I would have put a Nidus at his main over there. Anyway, Sturgeon, thank you so much for casting with me today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's been great.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us at home, everybody. We're going to be back. We're going to be back tomorrow, so we will see you there. Same time, same place. We love you. Bye-bye.